The Catechism of the Catholic Church says in paragraph 221, but St. John goes even further when he affirms that God is love. God's very being is love. By sending his only Son and the Spirit of love in the fullness of time, God has revealed his innermost secret. God himself is an eternal exchange of love, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and he has destined us to share in that exchange. God has revealed his innermost secret. God himself is an eternal exchange of love, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and he has destined us to share in that exchange. One of the things that's so helpful about the liturgy and the liturgical calendar is it has us return to fundamental truths again and again and again, every single year, almost like a spiral going down deeper, 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 because we can never exhaust the mystery. That's what a Catholic, when we say the word mystery, that's what we mean. We don't mean like a detective novel where there's like facts and stuff, and then by the end you try to guess who did it. When Catholics say mystery, we mean something so real that you can't exhaust it. It's like an ocean. If I gave you a cup to go to the Pacific Ocean, you're never going to exhaust it. You can't drink salt water anyway. You shouldn't do that. But you would never exhaust it. And so the church brings us back to fundamental things year after year after year so that we can prepare ourselves for heaven. And I think we're particularly blessed that we get to contemplate the highest truth there is amidst all the chaos in the country and world. Because if you're anything like me, perhaps you've spent a lot of time looking at the news in the last month. And I was just thinking about this, if I was savvy and had a good cameraman and all this stuff. I was thinking if you made a video of someone only eating Doritos all day. Like Cool Ranch Doritos, the best chip ever invented. Cool Ranch, you just constantly eating Doritos, nothing else. At the end of the day, how would you feel? You'd feel blah. You'd have no energy. And even though you ate food, it wasn't like you're full or satisfied. And honestly, if you and I fill our minds with news from sun up to sundown, at the end of the night, you'll go, bleh. That's a technical term for not being happy. We have to watch what we're putting into our mind, just like we have to watch what we're putting into our mouth. I was talking with a parishioner, and he was saying, he has COVID-15 because he's gained 15 pounds during the quarantine. And so I'm wearing a sash right now. It's kind of like a belt. I went to put it on, and I'm at COVID-7. I think it's a little bit harder to put the belt on. So I've got to watch what I put here, but I also have to watch what I put here and here. And we can get totally caught up in the here and now and miss God himself and our destiny. Our destiny as Christians is to be with God, who is love. This passage, part of this passage of the Catechism, is in a marriage prep book that we use here at St. Peter's. And it's so powerful to talk with engaged couples about this truth. You and I, we can know that God exists from creation. We can see his power, his beauty, his wisdom and intelligence from just how the universe and the human body and the human mind and the stars and all of nature, we can see God exists from that. But we would never get access to his heart, so to speak. We would never get access to what he's like on the inside unless he what? Revealed himself. Unless he shared himself. And so I'll ask these engaged couples, right? Like, what was it like for you when this person, like, started to share with you deeper and deeper and deeper? Like, trusting you so much with who they are. And some of the answers, like, wow. One man, he said, it changed my life. Like when one person shared their inner self with him, he was new. When I share myself with you and you receive me, and you share yourself with me and I receive you, do you know what that means? Do you know what that brings about? Communion. That's what communion is. And so I'll ask these engaged couples, okay, God, why do you think he revealed himself? Why do you think he shared himself? And if you and I receive that revelation by faith, what is brought about? Communion with God. God's sharing himself with you, and you receive that. And you share yourself with God, and he receives that. And you have communion. This is some of the most fundamental truths of what it means to be a Catholic. This is our great dignity. This is our great joy as Catholics. You and I were not made for this world. You and I were not made for this world. We were made for heaven, which is God sharing himself with you and you sharing yourself with God in an uninterrupted communion. And this is what Holy Communion anticipates. God himself is an eternal exchange of love, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and he has destined us to share in that exchange. This is why you were created. This is why he's called you. This is why he sent his Son. This is why he's called me to be a priest, to be at the service of communion. So today, as you receive Holy Communion, ask God that this communion would bring you to that communion, heaven.